Welcome to Whiteboard Wednesday 2021 edition.
I'm Brian DeVault, CTO of Netrio.
Mike Cromwell, partner and evangelist with Netrio. So today we're going to talk about, we heard from viewers that, and thanks for those who liked, commented, shared our Whiteboard Wednesday content. We've gotten some good feedback from those who have been watching, and folks want to hear more about Netrio's approach to project management.
That's what I hear.
And so this is an area that's certainly a big critical success factor and can make or break an implementation.
Absolutely.
So first question to you, Brian, on the topic of project management, knowing that you are as maniacal about that as anybody I've ever met in the 30 years in this business. Just let's, at a high level, talk through what your philosophical view is on project management.
It's a great question. So I think project management in the IT services industry is going to drive the successful outcome of any initiative that you're beginning as an entity or an enterprise, right? So anytime you're out to accomplish a goal, one of the most important things you can establish is what are we trying to do, right? And that frames up a project. So that enables somebody who has the organized mindset to put a project management plan together to say, here's where I start and here's my logical finish line.
As you're thinking about good project management, what are some of the top characteristics of a good project management program?
So definitely having the structure behind it. So, at Netrio, we have kind of our 8 tenets of all of our project management activities that we follow. And, it starts at the top where we're defining scope, we're defining, who's involved, what the reporting structure will be, how frequently we're meeting, how we communicate as a group, how we delegate tasks, how we accommodate for resource leveling along the way. If we find out 50% of the way through that we haven't allocated enough resourcing to getting the project completed, the time to adjust that is during the project execution, right? Not at the end when we realize that we're behind and we haven't missed our deadline, or we have missed our deadline rather. So those types of things are what we're looking for as good characteristics of a project management program or a PMO, project management office, however you want to refer to it.
Because one of the key success factors is having the right people perform those duties. So when you're looking at staffing somebody or moving somebody into that role, what are some of the common characteristics that you're looking for in that person that's going to perform that role?
So, and it kind of depends. If you're looking for a role that is somewhat of a hybrid role, you really have to make sure that whatever that hybrid arrangement is, that it allows for a dedicated amount of time per day or per week that's dedicated to project management activities. Because project management is not something you do as a sidebar to engineering. It's not something you do as a sidebar to performing some piece of service delivery for the organization. It needs to be a heads down dedicated function in order to be successful. There's way too many variables to track during the day. There's way too many items that you're trying to identify next steps and contingency plans for, or workarounds or resolutions. It may be staffing, it may be technical, it may be otherwise, but they need to be dedicated to that function where possible in order to achieve the greatest success.
If you're going to hire somebody into that role from outside the company,
sure, what
are the top 3-5 things that you look for?
So being organized. So, having the background and understanding the structure of, how project management works, the scoping, the resourcing, the calendaring function, the tracking, the resourcing, all those types of things are important. But overall, that person has to be highly organized.
And how do you find that out in the interview process?
Well, that's a good question. So you ask questions like, how do you move Mount Fuji? And the answer is one rock at a time or one step at a time. Right?
Is that really the answer? How you move Mount Fuji? That sounds like a pretty audacious task there.
That's how I'd move it.
No, but in all reality, sometimes these projects in the order of magnitude could seem like moving Mount Fuji.
That's right, and that's why I gave you that answer. So, and when you think about something, a monumental task, or maybe it's the onboarding of 10,000 electronic assets through an IT managed services contract. The average engineer is going to look at that and go, where do I start? And so one characteristic of a good project manager is somebody that can say, okay, let's group these assets together. What's the logical way that we take these down in order so that we can achieve our end result? And so it's somebody that can can really break down those monumental tasks into small achievable tasks, or the monumental goal into small achievable tasks that ultimately result in, when you combine them all, in a successful outcome.